Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope y'all had a nice weekend out there, having a lovely, lovely Memorial Day here in South Alabama. The weather's good. Looks like it's going to be a sunny day. Sunny day yesterday. Got outside. Summer's here, though. We're already seeing 90s, and it is brutal out there, and it's only May, so lots more to come. Anyhow, today I want to talk about a high raw food diet, digestion, weight, and dogma. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd go down and hit that big red subscribe button right now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I'm just going to kind of chat with you today. Sometimes I'll do a video just based on some of the questions I'm currently getting on Instagram or the ones that I see the most. High raw food diet. I like to throw that in there because there's some of the purists out there. I haven't had that in a long time. I had somebody on Instagram like 6 or 8 months ago, like, why do you say raw food diet? Why do you say raw vegan? You eat some cooked food. I'm like, well, dude, it's more for the brevity of it. I mean, I don't necessarily need to sit down there and give you a percentage each time. I don't think you necessarily have to, if you say you do a raw food diet, I don't take that to necessarily mean you never eat a bite. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. And these are just my views. I'm never trying to tell you to eat more cooked food, less cooked food, more this or that. I'm just kind of trying to show you how all this stuff has played out with me over the past 8 years. And one thing I will say is my digestion is fabulous. Digestion is fabulous. And from a high raw perspective, obviously my digestion is always the best the more raw I am. And I don't eat a lot of cooked food. Most of the time, like yesterday, I had a big salad for lunch and I had steamed some potatoes and put on there. Usually it's no more than that. So a lot of times it has to do with exactly what I'm eating, but most of the cooked food that I'm eating, I eat it in such a way as it doesn't really affect my digestion. Now, obviously, the lighter the food, the quicker it goes through me, the high water content food, but also too, that's why I like to make sure and get those greens in. You would think the opposite. You think you might I seem to have better digestion when I'm also getting the greens in than when I'm just eating tons and tons and tons of fruit. So anyhow, the way I eat, it gives me just flawless digestion. I usually, I'm always weirded out by talking about this, but I'll just mention it. I eliminate usually twice a day. I hear these people that say they go 4 or 5 and 6 times a day out of some sort of pride-like thing, and I'm like, well, that's just like a monkey. You can't even hardly stop doing anything. I feel good. I always feel like I'm empty. I feel like I'm light inside, so the things I'm eating make me feel good, and that's why I eat the kind of things I'm eating. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of greens. I don't eat high fat. Most of the things I'm doing move through me quickly. Now, some people will have just the opposite. They'll say, oh, I did a raw food diet for 2 weeks and I had terrible digestion. I had bloating. I had this and that. It's going to take your body a little while to adapt to that. Because when you switch, even when you switch to a whole food plant diet, even if you weren't focusing on raw, you're taking in a lot more fiber than your body has probably ever taken in, and it takes a little while for your body to adjust to processing that fiber. But I got like great digestion. I can't say enough about that. And that is one thing that keeps me eating just like that. And that's one of my measuring sticks. Like if my digestion slows down or whatever, or if it's a little bit different, I kind of assess what I'm eating. But it works for me the way I eat. Now weight, I just said weight instead of weight loss or weight gain or whatever. I just say weight maintenance. Like with this lifestyle, and I try to be thoughtful of all the exceptions out there, but also don't necessarily think of yourself as an exception. I don't see how you could gain weight on a raw food diet without trying. I mean, when some people say, well, I'm eating a raw food diet and I'm not losing any weight or I'm gaining weight. I have to make a concerted effort. When I was eating, when I was in Costa Rica and eating fully raw, it was easier to maintain my weight. And when I get back down to Costa Rica, especially at the beach, I'm sure I'd drop back into a much higher state of raw. Although I can't say a much higher state of raw, because usually like I say, the amount of cooked food is it's raw throughout the day, smoothies, ice cream, fruit, this, that, smoothies, and then, like I say, I'll throw a couple of potatoes on a salad, or sometimes I will actually have potatoes and steamed vegetables and something. But if I got back down to Hanko, I'm able to get more fruit calories. I mean, think about it. When I was down, right now, I mean, this pandemic situation is a little bit different. Normally I can get a certain amount of mangoes, but not unlimited mangoes. You got to remember, in Costa Rica, I had a lot of calories to choose from. I had unlimited bananas, I had unlimited pineapples, I had unlimited papayas, I had pretty much unlimited mangoes, and another assortment of a lot of other tropical fruit that I could always get my hands on. There was juice there. I could usually have some juice, orange juice, sugarcane juice every day, so I could get more calories in throughout the day. Once I came back to the States, it was just like a lot of the reason that I eat cooked food, or I will add cooked food in and I'll use it and I'll kind of know when to add it in based on my weight, is it just helps me keep my weight up. It just helps me keep my weight up. Like fully raw here is almost like a full-time endeavor for me. I have to think about food, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't get this, so how am I going to get these calories in today? So that's why I always recommend a whole food, plant-based, raw food diet, and not just the raw. Sometimes people just concentrate too much on that 118 degrees. Anything that's raw is good. Well, you can go in a store, you can get all kind of processed stuff that's raw. You can get, you can eat tons of nut butter. But when we're eating fresh, whole, plant-based foods, they're just not as calorically dense, and the calories come in the shit that we're putting on them. Like, hey, I eat dates and I use dates in dressing, but I don't use 25 dates. When you're adding the dates, or when you're using the nuts for the fat, and you're using a lot of that kind of stuff. But when you're eating a clean version of a whole food plant-based diet, raw, cooked, whatever, when you're eating a clean version of a whole food plant-based diet, it's just very hard not to gain weight. And if your body has weight that it needs to release, it's going to drop that weight. And the dogma. The reason I've never been dogmatic, even from day one, if you want to like one day go back and just randomly go back through a bunch of my videos, you'll see me saying, even back in the early days when I first started this channel, that I don't care anything about the fully raw thing or what percentage raw. Listen, just for the people that haven't heard for the 150th time, I was a 30-year drunk. I did a lot of shit to my body. I started getting worried. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to pay for all this stuff one day. So for me, it didn't even start out. I mean, and my journey started before the vegan version of it, just looking for health. I just started researching health. So health has always been my number one. Health has always been my number one. And I'm kind of glad I came to it at an older age where you're not so, into joining things just to be part of a group. I've never been dogmatic about this. I can change tomorrow. I am plant-based. I am vegan. That's not going to change. That's not going to change. But I've always allowed myself to learn, to experiment, to tweak, to try things. And it's worked for me so far. Now there are foods, and I'll kind of finish off with this. When I'm eating cooked foods, I'm going to tell you the foods that I lean towards, that I like the most, and they keep my digestion and my body feeling the closest to like I'm eating fully raw. And that's sweet potatoes. You've heard me go on and on about sweet potatoes. I can't say enough about sweet potatoes. They're good. I eat other potatoes. I'm not a snob, but my opinion is why eat other potatoes, or why eat rice that's just a white thing that doesn't have a lot of nutrition, when you can eat these beautiful orange or the Japanese purple sweet potatoes that are packed full of nutrition. Also, I definitely can tell a difference in the digestion of sweet potatoes and say russet potatoes or other types of potatoes. So I love the sweet potatoes. I love steamed vegetables. I had some steamed spinach for the first time the other day. Usually the only way I use spinach is in like a smoothie. But the other day I steamed some. It was so good. I love steamed Brussels sprouts. I've got some broccoli in there right now. Honestly, I think with cruciferous vegetables, you can, yeah, I can digest anything. I should mention that too, just as a disclaimer. I've always had pretty decent digestion. I can, a lot of people have problem with raw cruciferous vegetables. Easily eat raw broccoli and cauliflower and what have you. But I believe with the cruciferous, they're even a little bit healthier. That a little bit of steaming, a little bit of cooking actually releases some of the vitality of that vegetable. But like I say, all of this is just basically opinion. What the majority of stuff is on YouTube. And I would just say, don't eat. I don't want you to agree with me. That's not necessary. All I'm just saying is, like always, whether you're watching videos or you're reading something or whether it's on the news, whatever your source is, just always see if it makes sense to you. Don't just close your mind off because you have some dogmatic, oh, I'm this or I'm that. Listen, evaluate it for yourself, and maybe give it a try. But this is what works for me. I feel real good. I told you guys I've been supplementing more the last year too, and like right now, and I swear to God, I will always tell you guys the truth if things go sideways as far as the food and the diet part goes. But at 56, I still feel better than I did at 48, and I keep feeling like I'm moving forward every year. Like I look back to the year before, and I'm like, yeah, I do feel a little bit more solid than last year. Now, we haven't gotten into the thick of the summer yet, but I used to get these. I don't even think the allergies are bothering me as much this year, but we'll see. It's still early in the summer. But anyhow, just kind of a chatting, rambling video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, got something out of it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you a little bit later this week. Peace.